We are teed up and we are ready to go.
Priorities.
It's tea time with Mary.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back to Tea Parties on the Internet. I am your host, Miss Mary Lou, and today I'm not alone.
Hello.
This is Rachel, aka the Juniebird. Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Thanks for being here.
I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. You've seen Rachel on the channel a bunch before, most recently in my VidCon, How I Dealt with Anxiety recap, and like many, many other times.
Yeah, I was in that for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, totally.
But like, I got it.
yeah. Oh yeah, definitely a good shout out there. Rachel is a good friend of mine, and I thought last month's premiere of this series went so well. It was just so well. I would have another guest back for another episode of
Self-care Spotlight.
We're here for another Self-Care Spotlight, the series where I take other creative, wonderful humans and ask them what they do to take care of themselves. I have my Positivity podcast where I talk about stuff all the time, but it's me. And, you know, maybe you get sick of me after a while, but also it's really good to hear from other human beings. So that's what the series is, and that's what we're doing. But before we go any further into the episode, if you are not subscribed to the Miss Mary Lou channel already, you will seriously miss them out. Please hit the red subscribe button below and the little notification bell so you know when I upload. Duh. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So Rachel, what
Yes.
does self-care mean to you? It doesn't have to be a dictionary definition. It's just like, what significance does that hold in your heart? Like, what does
Yeah.
it mean?
I don't think you necessarily need like a dictionary definition. In general, self-care means that I'm taking care of myself. I'm making sure that I'm eating, which often includes cooking because I really enjoy cooking. And if I'm not eating, or if I'm eating poorly, it's because I'm not cooking. I tend to feel my best if I'm sleeping like 7 or 8 hours a night.
Oh, it can
which
be
like
so freaking hard.
I work really weird hours. I'll sleep from like 2 a.m. to 11.
And a quick note about that, because I generally work at night when it comes to the jobs I have had. And I know society is like, go to bed at 9 or 10 and wake up at like 7-ish. I had an experience with a human. They literally said, if you don't wake up before 9 a.m., then you're not like a real person. And I was like, but have you ever worked until 11, 12, 1, 2, 3? Like I have regularly at jobs that I've had. Societal expectations are whatever. As long as you're getting the sleep when you need to sleep.
That's something that I've been thinking a lot about recently. I like the idea of getting up before like 8 or 9 and like getting a bunch of stuff done in the morning. But like the reality is that the only way that I can get enough sleep is if I sleep until like 10. And I'm not feeling guilty about that anymore because I've realized...
Right? The freaking guilt associated with it is so real.
Because I would set an alarm for like 8:30 or like 9, being like, and then I would set a secondary alarm of like, this is when I really want to get up. I've stopped setting that first alarm and I'm just going to the actual alarm where I'm gonna get up. If I set the first alarm, then I'm just like interrupting that sleep for no reason.
For no reason. Yeah. I'm really proud of you for that, because the guilt associated with having a non-Western conventional sleep schedule, I've struggled with that.
Yeah.
That dang person has been stuck in my brain saying like, you're not really contributing to society if you don't wake up before this time. Like, it messes with my brain. And I've just been good about, you know what? If I work until 2 a.m., I'm not going to be up at 7. That's not taking care of myself. And even your definition of self-care, I love that it was a very much like breakdown of the compound word term. You're taking care of yourself. self.
Right.
And if sleeping till 10 or 11 is what you have to do, there's literally nothing wrong with that. Because sleep is, I feel like, one of the first things that go when we're trying to accomplish X, Y, or Z. So we've talked a lot about sleep, which I love. Is you had mentioned cooking for yourself as sort of, it's not just a way to nourish and take care of yourself, but you also really enjoy it.
Yeah. My parents have always cooked for us. Like, my mom cooked most like weeknight dinners, and my dad would cook on the weekends. My mom did a lot of baking. I don't do like meal prep per se. If I'm making something for dinner that is a larger recipe or can be a larger recipe, then I'll make like a whole tray of falafel instead of just like 3.
Leftovers is key. Whenever Jacob and I cook, we always cook for at least 4 people.
Yeah.
Even though we're only 2. So whether that's dinner another day, if it's like lunch for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But yeah, cooking in bulk is...
Especially things like rice and beans.
Yeah,
and...
the standards, the staples.
I just really, really love food. And if there's ever a time where I'm like not as excited about what I'm eating, I've realized that it's because I'm not eating as well as I should. For me, the best way to eat well is to cook. And I know that's not achievable for everyone. I know that that's not
absolutely
practical for everyone. But it is something that I've kind of grown up learning how to do, I can do, and I enjoy.
And side note, not sponsored, but one thing that we both do to make it easier for ourselves when it comes to cooking, because we prioritize a lot of fresh produce and things, is we both do the imperfect produce boxes.
Yes.
Which just like takes that extra level of stress off.
Yeah.
About having to be like, oh, well, I don't have time to go to the grocery store all the time to get the fruit that I need or to get the vegetables or whatever. It's like we use a delivery service that saves ugly produce and literally brings them to your door.
If you're interested, we'll put a link in the thing.
Yeah, we'll put a link down below. I even have a link for myself if you want off your first month down below. Again, not sponsored.
Not sponsored. So 2 other things that I wanted to mention in like the general self-care umbrella.
Please do.
One of them is climbing.
Yes.
And that could kind of be categorized as exercise, but my exercise of choice is rock climbing. I'm a member of a rock climbing gym, and I probably go like 4 times a week.
Rachel's basically the coolest person. Well, and okay, so rock climbing, it's as much of an intellectual challenge as it is like strength and flexibility training, which is brilliant. If I could rock climb, I would.
So there are climbs that are more strength-based, and there's climbs that are more like technical. And I really enjoy the things that are more technical. My favorite types of climbs are usually on what's called the slab wall.
I don't know what that is.
Which is like, when you think of climbing a wall in a rock gym, you think of climbing like a straight wall, or maybe a wall that has like stuff coming out of it. But a slab wall is like inclined this way, so you're climbing on this side.
Right, so you're climbing on a slight slope.
Right, and you think that that's gonna make it easier. But it doesn't. Those climbs tend to be very technical. So they'll have teeny tiny little holds and or footholds that aren't even there almost, and it's a lot of fun.
That's amazing. And I've been friends with Rachel for a while, and I've watched her just blossom since she started rock climbing this whole journey, and I'm just I'm so happy for you. Also she has guns now. Yes, Rachel! She has muscles on her arms that I didn't even know were things that exist. It's very exciting.
It's helped my sleep. It's helped my posture, which was a weird one that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, those back muscles.
Climbing especially is very social, so I have friends from the gym, which in general, don't approach people in a gym, like a regular gym, but if you're in a climbing gym, like talk to all the people.
Yes.
One last thing that I wanted to mention is therapy and medication.
Hey! Just like, the whole little chant of the podcast / this channel, seek help.
Yes.
You're worth it.
Yes.
Seek help. You're worth it. Heck yeah. Do you feel comfortable sharing about some of your medication therapy journey so far?
Yeah, so actually, it's relatively new. I've probably been going to therapy like 2 or 3 months now. And B, like, you're the one who told me that
Yes.
since we have the same insurance,
We
like
do.
this is gonna be so easy. Like, just call this number and get referred. And I'm just like, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were taking a trip together, and I had been doing a lot of research. I mentioned on the podcast like months ago, and I figured out how through our insurance to self-refer to therapy, psychiatrists, all that kind of stuff. And I sat down with Rachel. I was like, oh my gosh, this is how you do it. Let's do it. And like, you did it.
Like, oh my God, it was so much simpler than I thought it was going to be.
Because you work it up in your brain and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be so complicated. And all of this and that and that.
And both of them were a lot more simple than I thought they were going to be. Finding a therapist that I liked, I definitely lucked out. And I, like, the first time I tried, found someone that I really liked. And kind of with medication as well, I was talking with my primary care physician, and I brought up that I think I was depressed. And he's just, the nurse just like asked me a little survey of questions, and then they tallied up the score, and they're like, yes, you qualify for antidepressants.
Yes.
Would you like some? And I said, yes.
Yes, please.
And I've, again, been very lucky with that as well, in that the first medication that they've tried has been helping me, and at a pretty low dose to start. Obviously, medication kind of ebbs and flows, and you can change it as needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, my antidepressant experience, like in my teen years, I was probably on or off like 5 or 6 different ones.
Yeah.
And now I'm on an antidepressant that I was on in my teens that just works better for me as an adult. I'm really glad that you had it in you to take the initiative to advocate for yourself. Oh, and a really good tip also, when you are looking for like a therapist or a psychiatrist or someone, definitely tell them what areas you specifically need to focus on, instead of just asking for the general therapy of the area. But like, I knew what I needed to ask for. I was like, I need someone that specializes in trauma, in eating disorders, in abuse, and all of this other stuff. So that way I knew who the list of people that I had to call were going to be specializing in my area for my needs. And that can help narrow down to finding the right person for you.
Yeah, especially if you suspect that you may have more than just general depression. Then
so
that's
like getting
a good thing to
specific
mention.
about it. Totally. Absolutely.
Even if you're not sure, even if you're just like, I don't know, maybe, like, just ask.
And of course, all insurances work differently, so please talk to your doctor to find the best way to get the help that you need. There are other services available as well, of course, but, going through insurance, if you have it, is like, it can make it a little easier. So keep going. I know it can be frustrating to get to that point, but we're with you. We did it. You can do it.
You can
Seek
do it.
help. You're worth it. Seek help. You're worth it. So, Rachel, you gave us some incredible information and techniques today. Everything from sleep to cooking to climbing and seeking help because you're freaking worth it. Thank you for the wealth of knowledge and know-how.
Absolutely. And this is just kind of even the general stuff that I do.
Not to mention even you cold brew coffee for yourself all the time because you love it and it's fun and all of these other things. I'm so glad that A, I started this series, and B, that you agreed to do it.
Yes, I'm so glad to be here. I think this is so important, and it's so It's not necessarily fun to talk about. I was gonna say like it's fun to do, but it's not always. But it is important to talk about, and it makes a difference for like just for us, like kind of
Yes.
thinking about this and like preparing for this video was a really good reminder that like, oh hey, like I actually do a lot of self-care stuff that is practical.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what we're all about here on the Miss Mary Lou channel. Like, we have important conversations and we want it to be a safe and positive place to just like share and live and like be honest about what you're going through, and it's totally okay. It is okay. You're human. And like, you know, I think the Tea Time fam in particular are just all lovely humans.
You might be a little biased.
Yeah. I mean, like, maybe just slightly. Just like this much. So, Rachel, where can people find you on the internet?
I have a YouTube channel that I'm sure will be linked below. It is at thejuniebird, which is also my handle on pretty much all social media, Twitter and Instagram. Mostly I'm on Twitter, a little bit less on Instagram, but I'm trying to get back into that.
It's okay. All awesome links for awesome human down below.
Yes.
Wonderful people supporting wonderful people. I just love it so much. If you want to support positive content and help the channel, I so appreciate it. My Patreon page is also going to be linked down below. Become a wizard. You get some wonderful perks and some awesomeness. So that's all very exciting. And last and most important of all, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Thursday for the podcast.
It's tea time with Mary.
I'm almost out of tea.
Oh no. Oh, I have some more. Do you want it?